Take you to our other top story. The defense for accused number 1 to 4 in the Senzo Meyiwa Murder Trial wants charges against its clients dropped. The defense argues there is no evidence against their clients. It insists that those who were in the house should be the ones facing charges of murder. 5 people are standing trial for the murder of the then Bafana Bafana goalkeeper back in 2014. Let's get more from Advocate Adv Teffo, who is the advocate for accused number 1 till 4. Advocate Teffo, thank you very much for your time here on All Angles. Just give me more details, myself and the viewers, more details as to what exactly your application says and what you want to see being done besides the charges being dropped.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. After we've found one of the statements under oath by the leading investigating officer under the case number 636, being Brigadier Keninda, whereby in paragraph 3, it's alleging that we say investigation which resulted in evidence under oath revealed that the victim was murdered as a contractual assassination or a hit rather than a robbery or robbery gone wrong. And further say, evidence under oath revealed that 6 suspects actively participated in the planning and execution of the contractual murder of Senzo Meyiwa at the directive of Kelly Khumalo. Close quote. So this led us to write a letter to need a set of particulars from the state that we became aware now from this affidavit of Brigadier Keninda that the murder of Senzo was contractually made. There was a contractual involvement. So now we needed the disclosure of that contractual document that was entered into allegedly between our clients and Kelly Khumalo. So they state in the response, they say, no, the affidavit that you went through of Brigadier Keninda is not before the court. We say, no, how on earth you say the affidavit is not before the court? Well, the same affidavit you do have at the state. Advocate Valo, you have the affidavit of Keninda. Advocate Musholola has got the affidavit of Keninda. So now what is that the affidavit is not before the court? We don't understand the interpretation of Valoy to say the affidavit is not before the court. Because once the affidavit, the document has been disclosed, we had a disclosure, on the 17th of March, 2022, before Judge Bam, that because we were newly coming in, we replaced the legal aid judicators, the lawyers. Then this accused 1 to 4, they now took a private mandate now. It's me and my advocate, my attorney. So whereby we, later on after disclosure, we realized that the judicators of the legal aid, they definitely failed this accused number 1 to 4. Their representation actually was legally futile, was flawed. These people did not represent these people to the best of their knowledge or their understanding of the law. Now we find things that are now let us to say we need a document, crucial document. It's only this so-called contractual assassination, according to the Keninda, that is linking our client to the crime. And the other thing that is linking our client to the crime are the confessions, which were taken by the Metro police officers.
Advocate Teffo, I'm remembering what happened in court the last time that this trial was continuing in Pretoria. There was a lot that was said, especially by Judge Maumela, about this very application that you're making again to the National Director of Public Prosecutions, where he kept on reminding you that there are processes in law that you need to take in terms of applying in court because the trial is already on, applying for subpoenas if you need to, etc., to prove your client's innocence. Why don't you go that route?
We have done everything in our power. So we have done everything in our power. Firstly, we wanted, because we realized that there are the confessions. We became aware. The confession was disclosed to us. They are here. Baloy has them. Musholola has them. So I wouldn't understand when the judge says, no, the confession are not before me. And then Balo said, no, look, the confession will be considered at the time when the state is one those confessions to be considered. We cannot be controlled by the state here. The state, according to the state, if they say this confession they have, they are admissible. They are constitutionally, the rights of our client were not constitutionally violated. Why don't they have a confidence that, okay, let's try, let's deal with the confession first. A trial within the trial. Why are they beat around the bush? Why are they saying, no, it's not a trial. And the judge is also supporting them. No, from the onset,
but the judge kept reminding you as well, Advocate Teffo, that because he doesn't have this evidence before him yet, you cannot bring it into court, because that means you're bringing evidence that hasn't been brought by the state, which it's prosecuting this case. So why don't you let that unfold first? Because at the moment, I think probably your other job, I know you're trying to get your clients out of jail because you feel as though they shouldn't be the ones who are facing these charges. Some of them are already serving time anyway, and you feel that their lives are in danger from within jail. But why don't you let the process of court unfold, where you can, you're given the platform to prove their innocence with this particular case at least?
Yeah.
It looks like we've lost you there just a little bit, Advocate Teffo, but I still had another question for him. I'm hoping that we will try to get a hold of him. I'm trying to just understand, particularly about the question around his decorum and his behavior towards his colleague, Advocate Zandile Mshololo, because this, of course, we must remember, was the time for her to continue with her cross-examination. He was given the long, days that he was allowed to cross-examine, and of course, her application is that can she also be allowed to finish her cross-examination before things go back to Advocate Teffo. Hopefully the team can get a hold of him once more. In the meantime,